Hey, boss team. So today I am testing out this We Create laser, trying to see what we have going here. Starting in a laser engraving business, and of course, you have to test everything when you are first starting out. So today is the first day that I got a chance to test the machine. I'm going to kind of tell you guys about it. Just kind of go through a little bit. This looks a lot better than what I did the first time. Going to be playing around with the machine in this video. I'm doing some uh, PU leather patches. I've got a couple of different colors that I ordered, and then here we have some little PU leatherette keychains, and these were quite cheap, quite cheap. I think it was about 50 of these for maybe $10 or less. And as you see, they come in all kinds of stuff. I've also tested out some wood, but right now I am trying to get my settings here on the leather patches together. So right off the bat, I can tell you guys that I need to figure out alignment, because when you put the patches in, um, it looks straight, but I did have one that kind of, I guess the power of the laser kind of moved it a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of play around with this thing, let you guys see it in real time, and kind of walk you through my journey here. First time using the Recreate, so always good to kind of walk through and kind of see what it is that to learn the business from the beginning. So if you want to learn how to do this and see about building this business from the beginning, that looks amazing, y'all. Compared to the first one that I did. Right now I'm doing very simple stuff. We're over here and we're just going to put Dallas Live printing on this keychain. I'm using my laser right now at 10% power and at 453. So I turned it down because it was up high and it was really dark. So kind of turned it down because I wanted to see what it was going to do. And I see that on that dark brown right there, I don't really see the engraving on that keychain. So just doing some testing right now. So what we got going on is testing. There we go. Let's clean off that a little bit. So what I want to test and see what different colors are going to look like as I am engraving different things. What it's going to look like. It's on and popping. LPB is coming out the gate. Time to get this thing going. So this is the We Create, y'all. I got it about 2.5 weeks ago. And I never leave anything in the package for 2.5 weeks, but some things happen. And so it took me some time to get the machine up and going. I've got it up and going. Y'all know I'm not in the habit of buying stuff just so that it can hang around. I wanted y'all to hear what it sounded like, because when I listened to other videos, I did not hear it in the background. So I want you to hear the loudness of it. It's not really loud, but yet you do hear it. There was a crazy sound when I got mine. It was not level. There was some things going on, and I did not know what was going on. I was freaking out. This is almost actually done. And so then once it's done, we'll go back into the room and I will kind of tell you guys a little bit about it and what I have going on. These patches are patches that just came off of Amazon. As you guys come in, let me know that you are in the building. And I'll say hey to you. So, like I said, I just purchased some things. I've got some acrylic down there. I don't know if I'm going to test the acrylic today. This looks a lot better than the first try. Okay, finally getting a break. We just got back from New Orleans doing a pre-Super Bowl thing, and yes, yes, that looks pretty dang on good if I say so myself. That one, of course, is Cricut. This one, you can barely see the engraving on. So we'll have to work on that. Let's go into the room and I will show you guys the other patches that I am working on. Of course, my room is a hot mess today. So, again, let's kind of go through what we have going on. Um, this patch right here is the second try. So, what I did, guys, is I ordered a couple of different things. Where is the very first thing that I lasered, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that I've tried so far. So the very first thing that I lasered was this. This was my very first test with the laser. Um, just decided just to type out LPB, and I did put some polyurethane on this stuff, and it just really sucked it up. So it doesn't have any shine or anything on it. So don't know what I would do with this. I'm not really into wood, but I could see kind of wood keychains, right? So when I decided to get a laser, um, decided that I'm going to build a laser business from scratch. Use this as an add-on to add on things that I can do for my clientele, right? So with something like this with wood, like I say with wood, I'm not really a fan of wood. So I don't know what I would do. But after I printed this, cut this, I'm going to say, or say print, but you guys know what I mean. After I laser engraved this and then cut it out, I do see where these could be like keychains. Um, yeah, this could be keychains that we create so far. It's cutting, like I said, today is my first day. It's cutting really good. I did have a lot of problems getting my machine up and going. It got off in shipping, and that was an issue, and I was gonna send it back, and then I thought about it. Hey, I am the original fix it girl, right? I keep saying I'm tired of printers and stuff like that, but I slept on it and thought about it and decided, hey, I'll keep it and work it for the channel. So this was one that I did. I even thought about something like this. You could turn something like this into a custom bookmark. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to sell this stuff. So the second thing I did was I have this little planner here. And the whole reason for me buying a engraver, guys, is to engrave on journals. So that is the look of the print here. And I lightly engraved it because I did not know what material this is. Whenever I start doing any type of business, the first thing that I have to do after I get a machine is I have to figure out what I can do, what I can engrave on, learn the machine, figure out the learning curve, figure out what makes money. So if you're watching this video, that's what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks, is figuring out how to make money. I had a client today that ordered 300 patches. However, these patches, I had to order them from stalls because I'm not just going to jump in here and just start engraving patches and I don't know what I'm doing, right? So we're not learning while we go, at least not giving it to customers. So I ordered some woven patches for them. These two patches are exactly the same. These two are exactly the same. Um, and dang, I just set it there and now Which one did I sit second? Was this one. So this was the first try at engraving. Honestly, I think that this is too dark. So I use the settings in the We Create. And what I'm going to do is I use the settings in the We Create, and I use 2mm leather, PU leather, for both of these settings. This is the default settings of the We Create, and then this was the second one that I did. So one was at um 55. I wrote it down. Was at the power, using a power of 55, and it was a power of 55 and a 305. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to drop that down because this one is at 305 too, and power 55. This is at 10% power, which increases the speed. Now, this one I've cleaned, this one I have not cleaned. So this increases the speed right here, which, and I don't know how this is focusing, but I think that this gives a cleaner look. This gives you a nice dark look. With this one, y'all notice it's crooked. I noticed that when I put it on the Recreate, it started blowing and it blew the patch and the patch shifted. So I got to figure out how to not make things move on that grid, especially like little small things. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe I can tape the back of it or something like that. I'm not really sure what to do. If you have any comments or any idea, I'm open to learning because, hey, that's what we do on this channel. But I do think that at 10%, this will be fine. This is wet, so the color may look a little bit different because it's still wet on, yeah, this one is still wet. So it's a little bit wet, but at 10% and getting the job done like 5 times faster, I think it makes a big difference. So I'm going to keep these separate because what I'm going to do is put these in little bags so I know. Now, the same thing on this, I just did Dallas Live printing on this really small on the keychains. Of course, it's not aligned properly, but this print looks just fine on this light at, and that was at the 55, which this goes here at 10 on this one. This does not engrave good at all. So I'll probably play with this and do this at the 55 and see what happens with the dark. So I'm going to be playing around on the channel with this different type of stuff. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Precious. How are you guys? How are y'all? So that's what I have going on, and I just want to jump on here and show you guys and kind of talk to y'all real quick as I am gonna be doing some stuff here. Let's see. What do I want to do? Do I want to do the laser, or I was actually going to take this patch and kind of do something with it. Trying to figure out what products I'm going to sell. You know, when you start a business, I can't find anywhere to sit this phone down, but when you start a business, guys, and I'm going to sit this phone down and then turn it around and just kind of talk to you guys. And I have my bonnet on today, so y'all, hey, it is what it is, because this is what you can do it like this when you work at home, right? So, and I'll tell y'all what's been going on with me. So, woo, we just got back from doing an event down in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. It was great, great. Not for a Super Bowl, but it was a Super Bowl party, a celebrity event. We had to do a NDA, so of course I can't show you guys what was what. I wasn't able to take in pictures, but I did get some of the jerseys, so you can kind of figure out what was going on. So we did names on the backs of these jerseys. So guess I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I have one over there. But, so, we did these jerseys. You may recognize them or you may not. So, it was a heat press activation. And this is jersey right here. So, we had to put the celebrities' names on the back as they came up. It was really, really fun. Um, we got in and out and back to Dallas because I had another little event that I had to do on Saturday, which was doing caps. And so did that event. And then today came in. I only had one quote that I had to give out and booked two events. So good with that. And now it's like, okay, let's get on with the laser thing. I'll tell you guys. So I decided to purchase a laser. The first laser I purchased, I sent back. Because I originally decided I was just going to just purchase a cheap laser, a couple $100 on a laser just to see how it was going to work. After I got the laser, I was like, I really don't want a laser. I'm too busy. I've always got a bunch of stuff going on. I ain't got time for that. And so I sent it back. Y'all gonna laugh at me because y'all know how I'm always telling you guys, stop watching these YouTubers buying shit, right? So I've been looking at the X tool and I have been looking at the We Create. And I was still on the fence and I kept saying, I could use something else into the in the business, trying to figure out like, okay, screen printing, that's the bread and butter. We're able to do a bunch of stuff. And you're always trying to think of like, what can you add on to your business to kind of take it to the next level? I'm not about crafting. I'm about making money. So if it don't make money, it doesn't make sense for me. And at 55, I don't want to learn. I don't want to buy something that I'm going to make a go and buy a $10,000 laser machine that's going to take up a whole lot of room and it just sits there and collects dust. Or I find out that I don't have the customer base for it, right? So for me, whenever I'm thinking about adding something in, I'm looking for something that's going to have some type of ease of use, something that is going to have a low learning curve, and something that I can mass produce and make a lot of. So things like um, little promotional items will work perfect for my business. And especially with me doing events, sometimes I want to give stuff away. So if I can give away stuff like this or have this little stuff here. Now, these are super cheap. So I probably would not really use these for clients, for my type of clients, anyways. But as far as learning how to do it and all of that stuff, it's cool. For me, trying to figure out what type of engraver to get, I had to think. Let's really, really think about it. And I was torn between either going with the X tool or going with the Recreate. Happened to be sitting there and that craftable things came on. And she was on there showing. Now, I've seen her do We Create lasers before, and she's got all kinds of lasers. But for some reason, this dang pink laser caught my eye, and I was involved in the video. Looked the video and said, you know what? Maybe I should get that laser. And then I thought about it, and I said, no, I shouldn't get it. And I ended up going over to the We Create site and looking at it and ended up getting this particular laser. I'll tell you guys why I ended up getting this particular laser that I had already been looking at, the 40 watt. She was showing, I think, like a 10 watt or something like that. And I didn't go with a 10 watt or 20 watt. I went with the 40 watt, even though I know that I'm not going to really be cutting things, right? At least I don't think I will be. But who knows? So I'm going to be using my laser specifically to do things like journals, to do things like patches. I want to do custom patches, but I also want to cut the patches. So like this patch is super small. You can buy these, off of Amazon. I bought these, they were really cheap, but they're small, and you're limited to either that rectangle or that, a circle. And so I would like to custom cut the patches, although a 20-watt laser would do the job. Me, I'm kind of like on live Tampa. So for me, it's kind of like go with the bigger investment. Looking at that 40 watt, looking at that 40 watt, y'all, I looked at the extra piece. What do you call it? The roll extender that you can use, that you can add to do larger jobs and things like that. For me, I probably wouldn't be doing something 6 foot, but I could definitely see me kind of mass producing, right? But then if I got to that point, I'd probably just end up buying a bigger laser. But anyways, I bought this laser because it has a light on it. The camera has a camera on it, and after looking at it, I was like, okay, it looks like it has an easy learning curve, right? So ended up biting the bullet, getting the laser, and thinking to myself, well, you get this laser, you try it, you see how it goes. You've got 30 days. If not, you send it back. So here we are. So what I'm going to be doing on the channel is figuring out what I want to do with the laser. And I did get the tumbler attachment, and I got the Pro tumbler attachment, and I've got the IR laser, which I don't think that I will be switching out my laser with the IR laser. I just don't think I will. It is for engraving on like jewelry, and that's not my thing. And I don't like, from being a computer girl, I just do not like switching out boards. I don't like anything like that, because shit can happen, and then you got a problem. So if I was going to do something like that, then I would probably have a laser specifically for that and one for something else. The only down point of this laser so far, and I haven't done anything, is that with a diode laser you can't do clear acrylic. I've seen some people say some different ways that you could do some things on glass and different things like that. So I did purchase the some black tempera paint for me to just paint over whatever it is that I'm gonna do, so that the laser won't shine through it and I can engrave on it. So I'm gonna be engraving on some different stuff. I saw somebody say something about tumblers. I will do a tumbler, but for me, my customers are not going to be those full wrap tumblers, right? And honestly, I looked at the tumblers, and it takes so long to engrave on the tumblers. I just don't think it would be for me. So you guys are not going to see me doing like a lot of tumblers. You'll probably see me do some tumblers, some different drinkware and stuff like that. But it would probably be corporate logos and things that I feel that I can sell to my clients, things that I can push. So right now I'm looking for things to engrave on that I can push. I'm going to be making some jigs. That's going to be the second thing that I'm going to do, is I'm going to probably make some jigs for things that I feel like I can sell, and start promoting this stuff, right? Start promoting this stuff. And I'd like to add 50, $60,000 profit just this first year, right? Just this first year, just trying to see like what's going on. Jose says, I just got into this, and I have a 10-watt laser, but also trying to figure out the best settings. Which laser did you buy? I can tell you guys this. So I as I'm going in and learning this Recreate software, I have to learn it, and then I can show it to people. I'll probably start doing some stuff in here, but trying to figure out the settings on everything. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I got the laser, I turned it on and said, I said, what the slam? Scared the shit out of me. And I didn't know if it was supposed to sound like that, but I knew it wasn't supposed to sound like that. And I could not figure out what was going on. And I was just gonna send it back because I said I'm not the fix it girl anymore. And then so God has given me a gift to be able to fix anything in my sleep. So I'll look at something, kind of think about it, and then figure it out in my sleep. When I wake up, it's there, right? So, woke up, looked at it, walked over to it, stared at it, said, I'm going to send it back. I don't do that anymore. And then I thought about it. I looked on YouTube and I could not find any videos showing how to fix things or anything like that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and fix this. So I looked at it and I realized that the bar on the laser was off, and stared at it, stared at it, stared at it, and then started looking, seeing, okay, if I'm going to keep this laser at some point, I'm going to need to fix on it. That was my thought. If I keep it, I'm going to have, at some point, I'm going to have to, sorry guys. So my thought was, if I keep the laser, at some point, I was going to have to learn how to fix it in anything you do. So I wanted to see how easy that would be. So went in, played with it, and figured those things out. So I'm going to come up with a little project to play around with, try to find some things to sell, do some things that are kind of out of the box. Right now, I'm just getting, like I said, just getting these settings down on here to see what it is that I like, what it is that I don't like. This one here has a deep engrave. This one has a light engrave. That's not bad. But this feel here, going deep in, I do like that feel versus this feel is kind of smooth. So did learn the difference between that, between the 10 and the, yes ma'am, we are on live, between the 10 and the 55. This is what I've done, Tampa. You can see it kind of dug down in there. That's 55%. This is at 10%. You don't see anything, but this did go faster. It's flat. This does have a little lip to it. And then I did that, Tampa. And then I did this one, which turned out really good. You can't really see it good on the video. This did not turn out good. And of course, my favorite, which is one of the things that I actually purchased this for, was to be able to do the journals. That came out good. But with anything that you do, you know, there's a learning curve. You figure it out, and then you have to figure out how to sell it to your customers. And the best way that I know to sell something to my customers, guys, for those of you guys who already have a client base, right? And you go in and you add something else to what it is that you do, having something like this that you could do really quick. Not so much as cutting, because cutting takes a little bit longer, or doing big things takes a little bit longer. But let's say I have a client and they're good getting some shirts done, right? It's so easy for me to promote caps to them. Let's say, for example, these Beyond guys. So easy for me to take that and engrave that into a patch, slap it on a cap, and throw it in their bag. Even if you do not want to spend the extra money to do a cap, just throw the patch in there and put some instructions on how to attach the patch to something, or just put it in there like, hey, these are patches that we do, you know, we can blah blah blah. Simple things like that would help you grow your business. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be taking my first order on this type of stuff. And the way that I'm going to do it is to first go ahead and laser engrave a bunch of stuff, cut a bunch of stuff, do a photo shoot, take pictures of things that I can do, And the things that I learned how to do it, put it out there, and start promoting it to the customers. Do a flyer, so you guys are going to get to see all of that right here on the channel, right? I have literally, it is, today is the 10th, so I have 2 weeks, well, 13 days. 13 days, and I ain't got to do nothing for the next 13 days. But work on this laser engraving and get all of that stuff down. Um, and try to figure out what's going to be the items that I'm going to sell, right? What's going to be the items I'm going to sell, who I'm going to sell them to, and how I'm going to get it pushed. But I think these will be great to do. And I even think, like I said, I'm not much of a wood person. I don't like wood. I was worried about getting a laser engraver. I'm going to tell you guys this. If you don't like wood, right? Most of the times I saw people doing like little trinkets, little airplanes and stuff like that. If you're not into that type of stuff and you are like, I don't really like wood, I have an allergy to wood. So my first thought was not to get a laser because of the smell of the wood. This particular laser, I'm not smelling much of anything. And that was, and I'm running the air assist, but I'm not running that vacuum thing. $700 for that thing is just too much. So sending it back and just gonna run it out the window because it's kind of loud. And go for it just like that, right? But y'all, that's about all I have to say on today's video. I will do a tumbler. But I'm trying to think. I'll probably do a tumbler before this weekend is out. I'm going to actually work on designing. Um, and what I want to do now that I kind of got this down, and I feel comfortable with the laser after doing a few pieces. That's the main thing. When you're learning something, when you get a new machine, right, it may be intimidating to me. Tampa was like, girl, you scared of that laser. Baby, it was making all kind of sounds. But so let's say that, it's only once you start working with something that you will start to feel comfortable. And this is really, really easy. The software is not the easiest. It's really simple software, but I'm going to figure it out, right? I'm going to figure it out. Because there was some things in the software that to me just, it moves a little slow. So I will probably design most of my stuff over in Corel, but I am going to be designing in the software too. And now that I have successfully done something simple, I'm gonna go ahead and engrave something detailed. And then do it on layers and add different types of depth to the engraving to see how that works. I think that'll be cool for me to do. Maybe do like a patch here in the front and then do something kind of faded into the background. So just kind of come on, show you guys what I got going on. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Okay, y'all have a good one. Bye bye.